Right. What's up, guys? Eric here. Got Paul from the UK. How's it going out there, Paul?
It's a bit rainy, but it's okay. Bin day today, so my bins are clear, my recycling's done, I can relax.
Well, we are in the 30s today. That's Fahrenheit, by the way. So I
I
know,
don't know what that means. I'm English.
yeah, I know you guys, but it's still very, very cold for us. So, so here in Florida anyway, we're not used to it. But hey, guys, we're going to be talking about, what Paul and I have been so excited about. We just recently sort of launched, and that's sort of our hybrid marketing method, for 2026. And what we're doing is we're tying basically two engines together. We're tying, a lower ticket residual engine with more of a mid or high ticket, engine as well. So, and this just kind of came out of the blue.
Yep.
We were focused on our main build with the quiet commission systems through HBA, but then basically we were able to reactivate with this company called Exodus Elite that Paul and I had generated over, well, roughly around 124,000 within 4 months. Both of these deals have been around for 10 years. Both of these deals are set up 100% turnkey. So we just have an incredible a 1-2 punch here with these. And so we decided, hey, these are perfect to work together. And then we've even put together a really killer plan for people who maybe aren't ready to jump into the high ticket. They're with us in the low ticket residual with quiet commissions, but we're giving them an opportunity without even investing in that platform to actually generate commissions with it. Because Paul has built a fantastic funnel that all of our partners will get access to that will also allow you to promote the higher ticket. And we'll talk about that here in a second and actually earn a commission. We will track those sales that'll go through our account, but we'll actually track those sales. So if it produces a lead that produces a sell, then we're going to pay you. So participate in that. Now, obviously, we want you to get the 100% commission, but you can participate even if you're not ready to jump into that deal yet. So, Paul, I guess we're going to go over the
Yeah. So,
playbook you put together today.
so what we're trying to do here, whenever we've just tried to make money, it never works. When we've tried to help people, that's when we've always made the most money. And with Exodus, about well, it's a good few years ago now, but what we did is we created a group and we said we're going to show you how we market. You can share our marketing, and that's what we did, and that's why we were the first. And we're not. There's no income claims, we're not bragging or anything here, but we were the first two guys to hit six figures in that business, right? And then we brought in some people that went off and done way better than us, right? But they were under, one of them we know was a referral from us. So we're like, how can we kind of do the same thing? So yeah, we can show marketing and stuff like that, but the ability for you, you might not be ready yet. And we're going to go through a little PDF that we got together here. Um, but you might not be ready to do it yet, like Eric said, but there are reasons why it makes sense to have that higher ticket element. Let me just make sure I share the right screen. So we're going to talk about this, the 3K monthly blueprint. But before I do, I just brought this up on Perplexity. So if you don't know Perplexity AI, it's the best AI for research as far as the general consensus seems to be. And I absolutely love Perplexity. It's really good. It really delves deep into the web. So we've kind of moved away from network marketing, and network marketing has made us a lot of money. I like the model. I'm not saying I'd never do network marketing, but a review of 11 major MLMs found 99% of distributors averaged under $13 per week in commissions, not enough to cover required monthly purchases, right? And 95% of MLM participants drop out within 10 years, and about 50 quit in the first year, right? And one of the reasons for that is it's the model, right? The commissions aren't high enough because they're spread. And the idea is you're reliant on other people doing stuff. Okay. And the problem with that is you're then trying to force people to do things. I want Eric to go out and work really hard so I don't have to. And it's kind of a different sort of energy, and people don't know what to do. And if you do go and work it, because that commission has to be paid out over so many levels, the reward you get is actually pretty low. So what I actually asked, you can see up here, look, I asked Perplexity, can you give me the stats of success? Oh, that's meant to be of success in MLM compared with affiliate marketing, please. Right? By contrast, recent affiliate marketing surveys put the average affiliate marketer income around 8 to 10,000 US dollars per month. Now, that isn't right. I can tell you that isn't right because Okay, but the point is that affiliate marketers actually make more money than network marketers, just the way it is, right? And the reason why we're doing what we've done, the companies that we're with, we know one, well, we know them both very well. We've one with 5 years, one we were doing like probably like 9, 10 years ago, a big breakthrough. But we've done away with the network marketing aspect, so you're not going to hear it's a pyramid scheme. You're not going to hear any of that negativity towards it. And because it's an affiliate, one of them, you have to pay an affiliate, sorry, a license fee to the company, but you keep 100% of the products that you're licensed to sell. So that's in effect 100% commission. The other one is 80% commission, right? In reality, because you have to pay the license fee, I'd say they're probably both like 80% commissions at the end of the day. But the point is, if Eric refers me, Eric makes the money for referring me, not if I then go out and get more people or anything like that. So, if your goal is a realistic 5 to 10K a month, the data supports focusing on affiliate marketing with solid offers and traffic systems rather than MLM recruitment structures, right? So I think it was important to say that before we start, because you can see it's more realistic to get to this 3K level.
Well, and I'll say this, guys, as we go through this blueprint. Um, so our sort of moniker this year is, we're teaching people how to build subscriptions, not teams, right? So the direct sales model, obviously, you're trying to build a team. You're trying to get those team members to get to work and help them get to work. Because if they don't, you're essentially, and you might have a team member working on one side and not on the other, and the way the comp plan's set up, then you're still not being compensated for your efforts, because it's not, you're missing all these marks in the comp plan that are causing you not to get paid. We're just, we're sort of over that in 2026. Great model, but we're focused on subscriptions, and we know that we can teach people to generate subscriptions. And the way that we're doing it this year with subscriptions is somebody does, especially if they're leveraging both, models that we have, both engines. It may only take, if you want to make that 3,000 a month, or even 1,000 a month, guys. Okay, we're going to go over 3,000, but even 1,000 a month. It's much easier to get there, right? It's a lot less sales. It's a lot less subscriptions you need to bring in, because you're getting paid between 80%, between these two engines. We're paying out 80% commission and 100% commission. So you're getting a lion's share of the money right up front, right? So it gets you to where you want to be much quicker. And there's no gotchas. There's no, you got to get this leg right and that leg right, and this person's, blah, 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 all that. It's straight black and white. That's why we love it. And then the other thing before we start this is, both of these engines are 100% turnkey, meaning I don't want people to get, like, oh my God, this is going to be complicated. It's not, right? So the systems are already set up, designed, they're 100% turnkey. So our only job as promoters is we're just a bridge, right? So we have our engines over here, our plans. Here we are, here are the prospects, right? And we're just in between. We're just trying to marry it up. Because once a lead gets to any of these engines, right, it's turnkey. It's going to explain everything to them. It's going to follow up. It's got AI built in. One of our engines has a call center, so if they actually call the 800 number, they'll actually close and do all the work for you and sell and everything. So our only job is to get the eyeballs to our engines, right? And we show you how to do that. Paul and I, and both of these systems will show you how to spend 20, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day on, on how to get content out there. Or you can even buy advertising and that sort of thing with both of these engines to get leads to it and let the engine work for you. So I just wanted to put that out there, Paul, and I'll let you
Yeah,
start going through
totally.
the guide.
So, I mean, we kind of covered this a little bit like the old way with ML. Well, it's not the old way, guys. I don't think it is the old way. I know people in the industry, and I know that most people struggle, but that's because of what Eric's just been talking about, where you have to have balanced legs and so much volume. And if somebody doesn't put an order that week, well, we can't pay you the whole commission, and all that. So much more focused on this, building subscriptions, like Eric coined that phrase, which is really good. Build subscriptions rather than teams. Um, just to put it in context, I had a team of like over 1,100 people in something, and I was making 10K a month. Don't get me wrong, but that was 1,100 people. And with the HBA element, the Home Business Academy element, I could be doing the same with just 100 people. In fact, I could do it the same with about 84 people. 84 compared to 1,100. That's kind of the math. So let's just go through these slides to keep us on track. But So home business, we're not going to go in detail. We'll give you a copy of this. If you want a copy of this, you can read it out, to your heart's degree. But we'll just go real quickly. HBA are basically, it's called the Home Business Academy. The clue's in the name. If you are looking to build any business online, you might sell candles, you might sell shoes, you might sell clothing, you might want to do digital products, you might be in a network marketing business, right? The Home Business Academy is page builders, funnel creators. They tell you how to generate traffic, and they have live coaching Monday to Friday. They are live. They are there to help. You can ask questions. They have verified 6 and 7 figure earners showing their marketing, what they actually do to market. They have a call every Monday. What's working now? People that have made sales, like in the last week, will come on and explain what they did to get those sales. So one guy said to me once, "Oh, isn't the training out of date?" I went, "Look, even if that was the case, every Monday you're getting bang up to date from somebody who has made sales, say how they're doing it. That can't be out of date." So this is applicable, and the guys in the American Gold Rush, the people that made the most money overall were the ones selling the tools, not the people that were out sieving for gold, because that's chance, right? If you don't go and sieve for gold, you won't find any. Fact. But if you do go and sieve for gold every single day, so many hours a day, non-stop, you're still not guaranteed to get any gold, are you? It's more likely, but you're not guaranteed. So the people that were selling the sieves and the clothing and the donkeys and the mules and the dynamite and the whatever, the tents, the food, they're the people that actually made money, because there's a definite market for those products. That's what HBA is, right? That's the way I see it. And this is our residual element. This is the bit that pays out recurring commissions month after month after month, right? So what's the problem with recurring commissions, Eric? How long does it take to build it usually?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's listen, you're building, it's the foundation, right? You got to pour the foundation, and that's why Paul loves the residual income, because once it's poured and once you've built it, then you've got money coming in every single month, whether you work or you don't. I mean, that's true freedom, and so to be able to take some time off and know that, hey, as long as these subscriptions stay, people continue to pay, right? I equate it to Netflix. If you
Yeah,
know, if I went out and Netflix says, "Hey, Eric, go out and find me. I'll pay you 50% a month on their 1099 deal." As long as Netflix is doing what they need to do, just like HBA, they're providing value, they're doing what they need to do, then they're going to retain that customer. Well, every single month, I did the work one time, guys. I did. Paul was excited. He saw my post. He reached out to me. I sent him through the system. He said, "Hey, Eric, I'm going to join HBA with you," and he comes in at the $35 level, and then he goes ahead and upgrades to premium. So now I'm making $128 a month on Paul, right? One time, and Paul's like, "Hey, I'm really into this. I'm doing it." And here we are a year later, and I'm like, "Paul, it's great. You're still in HBA." Well, guess what? I just made 12 times 128. I don't know what that is, but Paul, right, that started out as a $35 customer, $35 turned in that $28 commission actually turned into
one
well
thousand
over,
five hundred and
1500.
thirty-six dollars.
How much?
$1,536.
So that $28 commission, right? The work I did one time to bring Paul in over that course of that 1 year turned into over $1,500. So I'd love to have 10 Pauls. What's that going to make me, and for this year, all of a sudden, and that's residual income, right? I didn't have to, month two, I didn't have to go, "Hey, Paul, hey, man, I really think, look, we're in month two. I think you should do it again, man. I really think you should. I really need you HBA is great, man. Did you? No, I don't have. I'm done. Like the HBA takes care of Paul. As long as they're doing their job, I can move on and do my job, which is find more subscriptions, right? So that's the power in residual. That's why Paul loves it so much. I love it, but I'm just really in love with the high ticket. So,
So
um, you know,
So
go ahead, Paul.
the good thing about HBA is, look, we picked 3K because it's like a decent sum of money. You might want to make $500 a month. You might want to make $6,000 a month. So you can kind of do the math yourself. But I can be on a nice 3K a month with just 24 customers in HBA. But how long will it take me to get the 24 customers? Just like sieving gold, right? I'm more likely to get people if I turn up and I do my marketing. Once I've kind of got my 24, I can maybe ease off a little bit. But obviously, you're going to keep doing it. You're going to be consistent, so you can go beyond that. And people will drop out, just like people leave Netflix. It's just the same world over. any industry. But that's the problem. It's like, yeah, it's great, but how long will it take me to get my 24 customers, right? So, and HBA, like Eric said, it's turnkey, it's over the shoulder. They're very non-hype and sort of, they think they call it heart-centered, which is a bit woo-woo word, but what it basically means is if they pay 80% commissions, they're not in it for the money. Right? They're not, if they're paying out 80% of everything that comes in after payment processing fees and everything, they're not in it for the money. So that leads us on though, if it can be slow to build, but it's obviously great to know the money's coming in if you can't work or anything like that. And I've had times in my life I haven't been able to work due to family emergencies, right? That's great. But if you need money now and you're selling a front end at 35 and hopefully they're going to take 128, they'll take, it's about 70% of people do, take the top package. But then couple that with, and I'll let Eric talk about this because he loves the cash injection where you can make maybe 500, 1,000, $2,000 in one hit. There's obviously an advantage there if you're looking to make money fast. This is the way to do it. So over to you.
Well, the reason again, you know, that I like the high ticket. Well, I really love the hybrid, that because what you're building is you're building, you're building that foundation, right? You're building that residual income. You also think about this. You also, a lot of times if you just go high ticket, okay, it's high ticket, right? So who there are a lot of people that will just that trust me, we've sold tons of high ticket. So if you don't think people will spend 500,000, $2,000 or more on a program, trust me, they will all day long, right? And they'll do it sometimes easier than somebody will, on a $35 deal. You'll
Yeah.
get more headache from somebody a lot of times on a $35 deal than somebody that's just like, hey, I like this. It's turnkey. You guys have a call center, 100% commission. I make the money instantly. They're like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Like it has everything I need. Boom. I'm sending over I'm going to get set up at the $1,000 level. I'm ready to rock and roll. What do I do next to go market this? It happens all the time, guys. So don't, a lot of people think, oh my God, it's so, is it tough to sell a higher ticket? Should I? But okay. And it's not, but there are a lot of people who are just, they come into the industry and they're not, maybe they're a little they just want to get their feet wet. They want to just kind of come in, they want to learn, and having a low ticket offer like we have with HBA where someone can get plugged in for 35 bucks. Now you open the door to those folks because when they come in, they begin to learn, they begin to get excited, they start making some sales with HBA. Guess what? At that point, they go, hey, I'm starting to feel more confident, my marketing, what I'm doing. I'm ready to look at this high ticket offer, and you have the high ticket as well. But the reason I like the high ticket guys is I think it's because of my initial experience into the industry. When I came into the industry, well, I did a couple of things first. I failed at network marketing for 10 years and all that sort of stuff, did home meetings and all that stuff. But then I got involved in a digital high ticket system. It was a $2,000 system and we made $1,500 commissions on that. It wasn't we make 100% on this. We made $1,500. People paid 2 grand. Now this is back in 2000, like 8, 9, right? So it was a long time ago. They paid us through PayPal, right? Back then when I had a PayPal and it seemed to work fine back then. But I just followed their plan. I put videos out and then all I did was it was sort of turnkey because I didn't really sell it. What I did back then is we would get people on the conference call. And then the guys that ran the company did explain the deal, did the selling, did everything. I just got them to get on the conference call. And then afterwards, they would either say, yeah, yay, nay, or, whatever. I'd follow up. So, I think I did, I don't know what I did. It was between eight and $10,000 in commissions in like 2 weeks. Now, you guys got to understand that was insane.
Yep.
That was for me. I was just making a stand, I was in sales. I would have good and bad months. But to make that kind of money back then for me, it really blew my mind. I didn't even think it was possible. And I didn't know nothing. Okay. All I knew was like, they told me to put videos on YouTube. I wasn't even doing that right. I was literally, didn't, they had training. I wasn't even watching the training on how to do the subject lines and all that. I was just randomly just talking and uploading videos. And I started to connect with people. The one thing that helped me was because of my, I wasn't afraid to like reach out to people, connect with people, and get them on a conference call. But that experience changed me. You know what I mean? And it's funny. I got away from the model and went to the residual side because that's what happens. You can do really well in high ticket. You get a few sales, but then maybe you're not seeing anything for like, oh my God, the I'm back in the desert again because, and that's why this hybrid is so amazing. And I'm so excited with Paul because if you have something that you can build a residual income, it's kind of like if you look at it like a sales job, not, and this isn't sales, I'm just trying to make an analogy here, Paul. You can come in and Paul and say, it's almost like your base salary is your residual,
Yeah.
right? Plus your
Totally.
commissions, plus your commission. So in the sales I did in the past, I had a a base salary, but I could count on it every single month, which helped me with gas and pay some bills and do these sorts of things that for day to day. But then I would go out and make this sell that all of a sudden paid me like $500 or a larger chunk of money, right? And that was the big payoff. Where but I was capped at the cool thing about this, I was capped at my base salary, whatever it was. So it was 1,500 a month. With this, you can take your base salary as high as you want it if you're building that residual piece. So now these high tickets become this, like you said, it becomes this super cool thing where, oh wow, I'm making $1,000 a month with my HBA, but somebody just bought my $2,000 package. You know what I mean? Even if three people bought that, you only made three sales a year in that, right?
Yeah.
Once you've made your money back, after you make your money, you made three sales. That's 6 grand for three sales in 1 year, an extra $6,000 on top of if you built this up to $1,000 a month, we're talking three here, that's 12,000 residual. But you just added six more, so you just made 18 that year. I mean, so that's why I love the high ticket because I love that larger hit. And then you also have if you hit that, now you have extra money there, right? That you can start investing in maybe yourself, investing in your own personal training, investing in advertising. You have capital now that you can use to reinvest and to help grow what? Your base. Because Paul will tell you when he was doing the 10K a month with his direct sales deal, there was a time in his life where he needed to check out of the online thing to take care of his son. And he had to focus on that 100%. And most people can't do that. If you have a job that requires you there, you can't just say, hey, my son, even if it's something, bad, they may give you a little bit of time off, but they're not going to give you extended time off. They're going to go, well, if they do, they're probably going to stop your pay
I
or
didn't do
say, hey,
anything.
well,
I didn't do anything for about 6 months.
yeah, 6 months. Think about that. 6 months, and that money continued to come in and month out, month in and month out, right? How many people are in a position like that, Paul? Very few,
Well,
very
I
few.
know people that trade, and trading's great, and I did it. I've moved away from it because you still have to be there. I'm really focused. I like helping people. I like setting up systems. I like coming up with ideas. That's what I like to do, right? So having that money coming in, whether you work or not, whether I trade or not, whether I work or not, whether I do any, that's my big thing. But then, of course, freaking hell, I get like a $2,000 commission. You can get $2,000 now with Exodus. If you were with us before, by the way, message us because you should have had an email telling you can get back in where you were, right, the same level that you paid for a while. But the $1,000 we're talking about is the sweet spot. But I think what it is for me, Eric, is like the argument with the higher ticket is like if you're at the $1,000 level, you only need three sales to make you 3K, and that's the argument.
Right,
But we both know in
right,
reality, you might get nothing this month, and then you might get eight next month, and then you might get one, and then you might. So it's very hard to sort of say a steady, guaranteed three sales a month because we can't hypnotize people to take their wallet out and spend money, can we? So it's up and down, feast or famine sometimes, right? Unless you're lucky, like we got well, it wasn't luck because we worked hard and I was just fresh off NLP, but we had like a big hit, and that's great because you have money in the bank. I spent it moving to Cornwall and living the high life for a bit, right? So the that's the mix. That's the mix for me. Recurring, can take time to build up. And like Eric said, you find that people that are asking a lot of questions about a $35 decision, it tells you something. More seasoned marketers, they like high ticket as well because they kind of understand it's the same work. It's the same promotion like we're doing this. Some people are going to prefer the $35 up to 100 and well $128 a month commissions. Some people are going to bypass that because they're like, why do I want to mess around with that? And they're like, Eric, I like the high ticket. Some people are going to be the other way around, and it's like, what I'd love to do, the high ticket, can't afford it yet, not sure, I'm a bit scared. So each have advantages and disadvantages, and that's why we're doing something for you, right? So talk about this. So we learned a lot from doing the 124K, in terms of, I mean, I learned the success rate as well yesterday, and I can tell you we were well above like helping people, getting them to be successful with Exodus, well above what the typical standard average is, right? But a lot of people you don't want to necessarily commit. So if you go to followthisplan.com, right? Followthisplan.com, and it forwards to this page. So this is a probably stupid offer because it makes work for us, but on the right hand side here, you got your recurring income. So first of all, you can watch this video and it explains a bit more detail and we break down the math. But here's your recurring, right? Now you can start that for $35. So $35 with tools that can help you grow any business online, gives you that recurring. To me, bit of a no-brainer, but up to you. But then over here, you can learn about Exodus Elite, the company we did that 124,000 in 4 months in. And you might look at it and you go, well, it looks great, sounds good, but I can't afford it. I'm not really looking to invest that much at the minute. I'm just not sure. So we came up with this idea. So first of all, like Eric said, Exodus have a call center. And when you ring in, they'll take your call, or if they're busy, they'll take your details and you just leave your details and they'll ring you back. But they take 20% for doing that, which is fair enough because you wouldn't have had the sale. Some people, just happy to pay it because they don't have to talk to anybody, right? They've got that in place, right? So your leads can speak to a real person and get the insights. One of the people that does the calls is the owner, and another one is his son. So you've got people that really know this business inside out, right? So, and then you look at it and you go, okay, well, I quite like the idea of it. Can't do it. Well, if you talk to me or Eric, inside the system, we can set up tracking. So I could give an exclusive tracking link tied to you, right? Then you could have our link with that special tracking bit on the end, and you could go out and promote maybe this page with this same message. What's best? High ticket, recurring? What about a hybrid? We think we're doing something fairly unique in the industry here because we're not just like, this isn't just a company trying to make both work. We're bringing two proven, long-standing custom, businesses together in one that have both got their unique advantages, right? And nothing's perfect, so maybe even disadvantages. Like we said, recurring takes time. So we've got a perfect. I think this is the perfect system, especially with our experience behind it. With both of them, we can help you. So what we said is, you promote your tracking link to our Exodus, our higher ticket, and we'll give you a 30% commission. So how it would work is we get a notification to say that, Frank or Mary joined or whatever. I will look in the back. Oh, Frank, that lead came from Eric. Eric, you just made a sale. Well done. You got 30% off, whatever amount. Okay. Could be a $2,000 sale, bear in mind. So 30% is like $600 just for promoting this hybrid offer, right? Eric, send me your receipt for $600, an invoice rather for $600. I'll get that paid, sir. As soon as we get the money in, and
Beautiful
bear in
thing.
mind it's instant, so that can be done pretty quick. Now, if you'd rather, Eric, would you rather have had the full $2,000 sale or the $1,000 sale? Would you rather have had that than
Well,
the?
I can tell you if I'm out marketing this and I end up making a couple of sales and are making you a couple of sales, Paul, and I'm happy with my 30%. Thanks so much. That's awesome. But now I'm starting to run numbers in my head and say, wait, if I was signed up and active at that position, then I would have made an extra, $2,500 that, yeah, you know what I mean? So at that point, I'm going to start really heavily thinking about I need to go ahead. This is obviously converting and working, so I need to go ahead
Yeah.
and get and buy the product so I can get 100% commission for sure.
So in a nutshell, guys, that's what we're doing. That's we picked 3K. You might be 10K. It might be $500, $200, whatever, right? And if you're only looking to make $200, stick with this side, right? But how it works is message me or Eric or come to that page, followthisplan.com. It will send you here to it's like it forwards to this to me. But you got to be in HBA for us for it to be worth our while doing that. Really, that we don't want to. One thing I can tell you, right? Why don't you just let everybody promote your Exodus? Because if somebody's coming in wanting something for free, I can tell you it's never worked. It's never ever worked. It just creates work because people don't you have a lot of questions and stuff like that. So when I was with the network marketing company, there was a way you could promote without having to be a customer, and it was almost something stupid like $16 a month to do it. And over the course of I was with them 7 years, I think it was, and over the course of the 7 years, right, I had numerous people going, well, I don't want to be a customer, but I'll promote it. And what about this? And what about that? Can you make me a page and this marketing? I think you should change this. And can you make me a video on this? And not one single person that did that ever made a sale over 7 years, right? So I've come to learn you need a bit of skin in the game. So you need to be with us in the recurring deal if you want to do that. Or if you want to do that and you want to go for the higher ticket, like a lot of seasoned marketers will just go straight to that. Okay. But you don't want to pay the $35 a month, which crazy. You can just leave our link in there and that's fine. But I won't be, it's not worth the time to do 30% of of those. It's just not worth the admin fee. So we won't be sharing that if you just want to leave it on the page. But you could just promote that on its
And
own.
I was going to say, and I'll close it, but you guys have over in Europe, right? You guys have those high speed rails, right?
Yeah.
You can travel from country to country and zoom, 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 right? So I'm gonna give you guys a little tip in the industry, right? Something that I call it's a trap. Okay. You have the high speed rail, but then you ever see the old with the lever and you get two
Yeah,
guys in
yeah,
there
yeah, yeah. I know
or
what you mean.
yourself and you're pushing it up and down and you're trying to now imagine going from say London to whatever, go to Berlin, right? Or whatever. So you're on that high speed rail, man, and you're just phew. Now imagine trying to do that from with one of those old antique, lever pushed train carts, right? Right. So, but what happens is a lot of these programs out there, guys, they look like the high speed rail. Okay. They make them look great. It looks amazing. This thing's going to be great. And the way that they do these deals to mess with your psychology is you get email. Oh, someone just joined my downline. Oh, you just got. It's like you feel like things are happening. Like and then you can say, oh, look, I joined this deal and I've got 45 people already in my downline and all this stuff, right? And all the bell, they make it look really pretty, right? But your goal is for go from 0 to 3,000, right? That's your goal, right? 0 to 3,000. So, but you think that is because things are happening because you see something growing. You think you're actually moving and you're not. You're this. We know a guy with in one deal, the very popular deal that has over 1 million people in that deal. He's making no money with it. Okay. This is what he's doing every single day. But you know what he's saying? But look, I've got in the beginning, you're saying, well, look, I've got 100,000. And if this happens and that happens and that happens, all of a sudden I'm going to start making money. And you spend all this time, right? Because you aren't in a real high speed system, right? You're not in a real high speed system, right? To get you from 0 to 3,000. Paul and I recognize that. And sometimes, right, things that are out there, it's what's sexy to people in the marketplace. Oh, this new pre launch, I'm getting in before everyone else.
Yeah, totally.
That's not sexy, guys. That's unsexy because those are the deals you get in, you waste a bunch of time, and then nothing happens or the deal blows up or whatever. So you've spent all this time, blah, blah, blah. But what's not sexy, which should be very sexy to people, is oh, this deal's been around for 10 years. This deal's been paying people consistently for over 10 years. This deal has the same ownership for the last 10 years. This deal has the same compensation plan over the last 10 deals.
And they're
This year
guaranteed
has
never
all
to
the
change it. They're guaranteed never to change the comp
right.
plan.
This deal has all the infrastructure in place. Now, what makes it a high speed rail? Because it pays out high ticket 80% 100%. So what's sexy to people? Oh, well, they can go tell a story and say, well, I joined this deal early and I've got 2,000 people in my downline. Now, maybe they, and let's say they've made 70 bucks, right? So they get all this cool stuff to say to people. Then you got Joe over here that's been posting and he's been in this deal for 2 months. You've been in your deal 2 months and you're posting and you're saying, oh, look, look at my people in my downline. Look at all this stuff that's happening. And oh, I got my team's expanded to Europe and Australia. Meanwhile, they've made no money. Okay. Then you got Joe over here and he's just like mulling along. He's following what we're doing 15 minutes and he's been in 45 days. And then all of a sudden, hey, you just made $1,000. What? Right? Are you serious? So now all of a sudden, everyone's looking at your Sally over here that's been telling everybody how her business is growing and all this stuff is happening in her shiny deal that's that old school push lever train system and she's made no money and then all of a sudden in 45 days Joe makes $1,000 commissions. Okay, that's how we think. That's what we look for when we're looking
Yeah.
for systems and how do we get from point A to where we want to go as quick as possible, and how do we know, and we want to make sure the train doesn't fall apart on the way. Okay, and that that it's going to do its job, that it's got, I've been, this train's been riding that rail for 10 years. No, you're going to give me this little train over here that's never even pushed off the track yet. And which train do I want to get in to get to the same place I'm trying to get? I'm going to get into this train, right? Because I know it's going to get there. It's got there for so many other people, and I can fast track. So I wanted to bring that up, Paul,
Well,
because I
what's
think
even
there's,
sexier to me, Eric, with
you know,
what you just said is that guy that you just talked about had just suddenly made, what was his name? What name you said?
Joe,
Bill.
right?
Bill.
Bill,
But along the way to making that $1,000, he's going to be picking up those HBAs recurrings.
correct.
Because some people, if you're using our hybrid system, you don't even have to be at the high ticket one to make some bonus sales from that because we're letting you do that. We're tracking it, right? So, and more people, like especially new or people that need, if you're looking to start a home-based business, there's obviously a proportion of people that are looking to do it because they need money. So to ask them to suddenly fork out like, $1,000 for a high ticket thing, we get it. That's why sometimes it doesn't work because I need to make money. Okay, well here's a $2,000 option and a $400 license fee. Oh, okay, so that we get it. So that guy Bill's going to pick up some passive recurring commissions on the way to getting his $1,000. This is why I'm excited. It's the perfect hybrid. It's the perfect sort of match. Me and Eric, we don't argue per se, but it's like I'm always recurring, Eric's always high ticket, right? And we've done both. Now we're on a completely level footing, and Eric doesn't kick out those recurring commissions, and I don't kick out the high ticket ones, so it's perfect. Right. Should we
It
let
works
people
out
go
beautifully.
and check out the page?
Yeah, yeah. Check it out, guys.
All right. So, any questions? We're happy to talk to you. There is a call center for Exeter's. We're not even turned that on yet because we're happy to speak to people. But if you want to speak to them, I can arrange that. If you want to check that out, if you want to check out HBA, they do an overview once a month, and I've got a link to the last one of that. You can just check it out from their point of view. Okay, but they're both solid. I don't want to say boring. Let's say dependable. Right? They've been around 10 years. They're dependable. And if you care about your income, go and do the exciting stuff with the new product launches. But take it from two people that have been there and seen it come and seen it go. Have something that is dependable in the background, right? Is what I would recommend everybody. Because what you find with HBA, you see people come in because they want to promote the latest shiny object thing, because you can use HBA to help promote that. But when they actually sit there and go, hang on a minute, these guys are paying 80% commissions. We know a lady. She's got like over 200 people in a business, and she's making $38 a month. And in one sale here, she's making more than that. It's just crazy. Right, go and check it out, guys. Speak soon.
Bye, guys.